Hey guys, what's up, Alex here. Today we are here with the second round of the Go-Kart Championship, a friendly championship of me and a couple of my friends do. So I'm going to run through everyone in this race because you might get a little bit confused, a little bit different to last time. First off, you've got me on the right hand side of your screen. I've got blue overalls and red gloves. And then on the left hand side of your screen you've got my dad with the white helmet and bright blue overalls. Then you've got Ben with the red helmet, Tom with the black helmet, the white stripe, Harry with the white helmet, Job with the black helmet. And as I said, my dad's on the left hand side of the screen, I'm on the right hand side of the screen. Let's get into this race. The lights are out and this is qualifying. So this is a little bit different to the last one. The last one was just a straight out 32-minute race. This time we've got a 10-minute qualifying session and two 10-minute races. So this is just all about getting the best time. So, you know, everyone's sort of racing around trying to get used to the track again. We hadn't been go-karting in about a month, so you know, we're getting used to the track again. We're using the short circuit this time. You'll see we'll cut to the left any second now when we normally just go straight on there. So this is a nice circuit. I really enjoyed this sort of style of the track. Personally, I enjoyed this layout of the track more than the sort of the longer layout of the track, but that's just personal opinion. And you can see there I run a little bit wide. I sort of getting a bit of a gap between the Ben in front, and you can see my dad trying to go for the overtake down the inside and gets into a slide and then gets stuck on the grass on the inside, which was a bit frustrating because on the first lap obviously your tyres are cold and everything. I think he was trying to avoid me, to be perfectly honest. Now he's got to push his go-kart back onto the track, but you know, I wasn't given the best order of the karts. I think I was the 5th person, so I was right in the backside to sort of make my way throughout this qualifying session, trying not to get entangled up in any accidents or anything. And you can see my dad's back in the go-kart now, and he's actually going to pull out of the way here. I don't think he really needed to. You can see he's got a lot of gap, and you can see there he's pulling off to the side. And he lets us all through, except from Harry, I think, who's also spun it or something, because it's only us four, and then my dad's rejoined behind us here. And you can see there's a bit of overtaking on my screen, even though this is only qualifying. It looks like a race, but it was really good fun. Qualifying, actually, you know, you'd expect this to be a race if you just looked at this, but you know, 10-minute qualifying session decide the best pole position time and also at the rest of the grid as well. And I'm losing a bit of time there. I'm stuck up behind Tom. His thing is, Tom isn't very slow. This is only like his 3rd time go-karting, and I think he's improved so much over these last couple of events. He'll probably be up racing with us, you know, right at the top very shortly, so that'll be interesting. But you can see we're getting stuck up a little bit behind Ben here, who's going a little bit slowly. I think he's taking a bit cautious because he's following Job, and you can see my dad braked extremely late there and messes that corner up a little bit. Goes for a spin, but gets back under control straight away. And it was actually quite tricky conditions because you can see it's, you know, it's quite sunny or whatever, but actually the track was pretty wet. It was raining, I think, the whole night before, and the track was sort of only starting to dry up a little bit here. So you know, it's not a dry track whatsoever, and you can see there getting the move down the inside of Tom as he makes a bit of a mistake. And now I have only got Ben and Job in front of me. Job's got a bit of a gap over Ben. I'm not sure whether Ben's just not as fast here or whether he is just leaving a gap there so we can set a good lap time. Obviously it'd be sensible to wait up a little bit, but he doesn't want to be losing too much time here. Ben very slow through this part of the track here. I sort of run into the back of him and make a bit of a mistake by myself, running a little bit wide. You can see the spray coming up from behind the cart, and there's a yellow flag here, so I'm not sure what I do. I look to the outside, thinking about overtaking here, and then I nearly run into the back of Ben there. I was like, where's this yellow flag and where's Tom? And I think the yellow flag was to do with Harry going for a spin, and I get round the outside of Ben there. And now I think, yeah, this is Job in front of me here with the black helmet, and then white helmet in front of him is Harry, who I think has gone for a spin very recently. On my dad's side of the screen, there's not really much going on here. You can see he's pretty much in the middle of the track by himself, so this is actually a great opportunity for him. That means he can just go flat out and doesn't need to worry about anyone else. And now we are coming up behind. Oh, it's Tom that spun, sorry. It's not Harry that spun. My mistake there. But yeah, my dad's in a track position all by himself, so he's you know, can put in some pretty good lap times by himself there and doesn't need to get involved in any of these sort of scraps that we're getting involved in. And you can see here Tom is doing a great job of defending. I think he went for a spin, and I thought it was Harry, so I'm sorry about that. But looks like he's regained control and is back in the qualifying session. And there's a no bumping sign. That's not for me. I think that's for Job behind me. And I slightly missed up this corner a little bit here. I nearly run it into the tyre walls on the outside of the track. But I think it's really fun conditions. He's sliding about all over the place, but overall, this is great fun, this qualifying session. And if you haven't been to Filching Manor, guys, and you live around the area, just go and check it out. It's definitely worth it. You know, the go-karts aren't the fastest, the track isn't the longest, but I still think it's a really good track if you've got a couple of friends that are quite evenly matched. So you can see Tom's starting to pull away a bit here. He's going for the inside line at the top hairpin. I decided to normally go on the wide outside line and try and just get the better out, you know, run out of the corner, but looks like my dad's trying to do a similar thing now. You can see at the left hand side of the screen, a bit sideways coming out the corners, however, and I think you probably can see just about on his screen that in front of us, and he's gone for another spin. I think that was actually just getting on the throttle a little bit too early there. I'm not really too sure, you know, why. You know, he didn't really understand why he kept spinning either, because he said he wasn't really doing anything different. So, you know, maybe it's just an unfortunate thing. Maybe the go-kart tyres just not having any grip whatsoever, which, you know, unfortunate. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes the karts aren't prepared, you know, amazingly. Sometimes they do have little things. I mean, my kart, actually, the sort of, I think the floor of the kart was actually rubbing along the ground the whole time. That's what I think it was. They couldn't seem to find a problem, but I think it was the floor of the kart, a bit of plastic that was rubbing along the ground the whole practice, or actually qualifying the 2 races. I said that I didn't need to get a new car because I'd already sort of settled into it, so getting a new car might have destroyed the sort of feel I had for the car. If that makes any sense. It sounds a bit stupid because it's only go-karting, but you know what I mean. And actually we've introduced sort of the point scoring system now, and I sort of made it up as you know, pretty similar to the Formula 1 one. So for a 20 or 30 minute race, last time it was a 30-minute race, you'll get 25 points for the win, 18 for second, 15 for third, 12 points for fourth, 10 for fifth, and 8 points for sixth place, just like Formula 1. And also you'd get 5 points for pole position if there was a qualifying session. Now for a 10 or 15 minute races, which are these ones you're watching here, you get 12 points for the win, 10 points for second, 8 points for third, 6 points for fourth. In fifth you'll get 4 points, and sixth you'll get 2 points. Sorry, I don't know why I did a bit of a mind blank there. And also you'll get 5 points if you qualify in pole position. So I'm thinking, you know, as we haven't done a qualifying session with a longer race, I'm thinking about possibly upping the pole time to maybe the pole points, sorry, for that's maybe up to 8 points. I'm not really too sure. I'll see what happens with that. But obviously we'll do that when it comes nearer the time. And a bit of side-by-side action there from me and Ben, who I got the corner a bit wrong, and then we drove a little bit side-by-side. And here I'm like, what is wrong with my car? I could like hear it really loudly, so I try and pull off to the side here, and my dad goes for another spin on the left-hand side of the screen. I can see I'm letting Ben and Job through there. I sort of got in Job's way there. I probably could have done that a little bit better, but I thought now, got to go all guns blazing to try and get a good lap time here, as we've only got about 1.5 minutes left here. And also I've got to make sure that this kart can make it to the end and I don't do anything stupid. So at this sort of point I was thinking, yeah, I've probably got about second or third in the grid. I seem to be faster than Job and Ben, and I wasn't really too sure what my dad and Tom were doing in terms of pace. I honestly thought that Tom was on pole here. He had really fast laps when I was behind him, so I was thinking, yeah, he might be on pole. But apart from that, I really didn't expect Harry or Job or Ben to be on pole. As you can see, I was sort of overtaking them throughout this whole race, and you can see I'm keeping up with them here. So I was like, yeah, I'm probably at least top 3 on this grid here. It was a bit of a mix-up actually in the grid, you'll see in a minute. But Job gets a bit sideways, and we're trying to go around the outside, but we have to leave him room there because otherwise we might end up in a bit of an accident, riding the curb a little bit on my screen, but not really a huge amount I can do there to get past him. And on my dad's screen, pretty much just trying to keep it on the road now. Obviously a couple of spins at the start of the session, now just trying to get in a good lap time. And overall, I think this might have been the most fun I had go-karting, because this was just a huge amount of fun. Each and every time actually we go, it normally gets a bit more fun, except from the round 1 of this championship. Actually, I didn't find that a huge amount of fun because of the other guys sort of hitting into me, all that sort of stuff, the guy that wasn't part of the race or whatever. So that was unfortunate, but we've only got about 1 or so minutes left of this qualifying session now. And I think now I was thinking in my head, let's see, I'm backing off here. Like, I've got to get a gap. I've been stuck up behind someone this whole session, and I've got to get a lap. My dad's gone for another spin, hoping his luck's a bit better in the race than that. So you can see here now I've built up a gap, to Job and Ben in front. I'm still like, how are they going so slowly? So I'm not even going. I'm not going like sort of 70% here, but still keeping them within sort of sight there, which was a little bit annoying because I wanted to get enough space for a good lap. And you can see I'm looking over there. I was like, oh no, they've got the checkered flag, Greg. That's the end of the qualifying session for me. And yeah, you can see come across the line there, and I have no idea what my time is whatsoever. And going a little bit fast in here, but here are the times you'll see on your screen now. So my dad actually got pole position, which meant he got 5 points. Tom was second, Ben third, Job, myself, and Harry. So that's my worst ever position on the grid. And here we are, the first race. Let's have a lot of fun here as my dad on pole position gets a pretty slow start in second place. Tom doesn't get a great start either, going 3 wide there. Dad gets squeezed out a little bit, and I'm down to last place here. Harry going side by side with my dad, and I'm trying to go around outside of Harry, and I get the cut back on Harry, so back up into 5th place. I knew here, you know, I had nothing to lose. My worst qualifying position ever in one of these races. 5th position, I was pretty annoyed about it, to be perfectly honest, but you know, I quickly just forgot about that and just got to the racing here, as I knew I could make it all up in the race. I mean, my dad hadn't obviously done the first round, neither had Harry, so my dad got 5 points on the board, so that's good for him. And you can see I've lost a bit of time here to my dad. He's going quite fast in a straight line, trying to keep in the slipstream with Tom there, and there's 5 of us in the space of a blink of an eye here, really close on this first lap. I think Harry's lost a bit of time behind us. Next time, guys, I might, well, we're getting some more sort of the suction pads that you can put on top of your helmet, so leave down in the comment section which person you'd like to see the onboard from. And you can see there Tom gets really sideways. No idea how he didn't spin that out there, but my dad's made up a bit of ground. He lost quite a lot of time on the first lap. He was down to P5, now I've made it back up into P3, and now I'm trying to look for a space to overtake Tom here, but I go a bit wide. Tom goes extremely wide on the exit there, but we end up being pretty much the same gap between us after the corner, so not really much of a difference between those 2 different lines through here. And now there's a bit of a traffic jam in front. Job has seemed to have lost a bit of pace and has lost a bit of time to Ben in first place there. So my dad's getting a little bit stuck up behind him, and there's a bit of a queue now, to be perfectly honest. Tom's getting sideways, everyone's getting sideways through that corner. It's a lot of fun, that one, whether you can take it full throttle or not. Trying to look around the outside, inside, where am I going to get this position done? Tom goes in ultra fast to the side of my dad, and now I go a little bit too fast into the side of Tom there, which is a bit unfortunate. I was a bit annoyed about that, to be perfectly honest. I was thinking, should I give those positions back, because honestly they didn't do anything wrong there. Well, Tom carried a bit too much speed into the corner and hit my dad, but to be honest, I just came in that corner a bit too fast and sort of tagged Tom a little bit through there, which is a bit frustrating. That I was sort of thinking about that for a couple of laps, thinking that's a bit of a stupid move, wasn't it? But anyway, I'm up into 3rd place now, and now Joe was really on the attack of Ben here. You can see he all over the back of the go-kart, and I'm thinking here Job has got a lot more speed than Ben, so I'm thinking he can probably go for the win here, but Job nearly just leaving enough space for me to squeeze it down the inside, but I don't. I probably could have risked it there if I really wanted to, but I don't want to be doing any dirty overtakes or anything. But you can see my dad hasn't really lost that much time. He's still within touching distance, to be perfectly honest. There's one little mistake and I can be thrown back down to about 5th place. I think Tom is right behind my dad still, really sideways there until my dad has spun it around, and Tom and Harry get past, and a bit of contact there with Ben. I think I was yeah, I was like, where's my dad gone? Because he was right behind me, and then I realised that he had spun it around. So my dad's now down in 6th position, and I'm here in 3rd position. So if you're still confused, left hand side of the screen is my dad, right hand side of the screen is myself. So as I said, if you want to see a different person, please leave it down in the comment section. It's probably going to be one of the GoPros is probably going to be on top of Ben's helmet. And at the moment, the only other people with sort of the GoPro mount is myself and my dad. So and Tom has his own helmet, but I haven't talked to him about that. So maybe we could do that if he would like to. So we'll see what happens in the next race. But it'll probably be good to have a GoPro on either mine or Ben's or Job's helmet, just because it's normally us 3 at the front. And but I think Tom and my dad might be right back up there after this in round 3, which will be up in about, well, you know, I think we'll go, I don't know when exactly we're going to go next racing, but I'll of course let you guys know. And yeah, leave your comments down below, and I will sure to choose the people to put the cameras on accordingly. And I think you can see here that my dad's got past Harry round the outside there, moved himself up into 5th position. A bit of a risky overtake round the outside there, but Harry's kept his foot in and they're running side by side. Some great action there, and Harry's actually got back past there. And my dad goes a little bit sideways, but Harry keeping his cool, keeping his foot on the throttle, and has kept it in the 5th position there. I think my dad's trying to look for another manoeuvre down the inside on the exit of this corner. He's got a little bit more speed. Where will he overtake? Much more speed through there, very sideways. That's lost him a bit of time. And now I am right on the back of Job, you can see on the right hand side of the screen. So 2 battles going on here. My dad's looking for a move down the inside of Harry, but there was no gap. He closed it off there. Harry's quite slow through certain points in the track, but honestly I think he is improving, and you can see there Job gets it very sideways. I nearly run into the back of Job there, so I had to sort of jam on the brakes, and that's lost me a couple of tenths of a second. Harry keeping the inside line, and he's, I think, actually been told off by the marshal for doing something. I can't exactly remember what he said it was, but he got pulled over there to stop him from doing something. I think it was like getting in the way, and my dad's gone for another spin, so I think that's actually just a bit of bad luck there, to be perfectly honest. And I can see there on my side of the screen that we're all just trying to get around Harry now, and I sort of made a little bit of a mistake. I think I hit Job a little bit as I was trying. We saw Harry sort of rejoin the track, and it was just all caused a bit of chaos there. So my dad once again has got a big load of clear track, but I dived it down the inside of Job there, and we're up into 2nd position, which I was pretty happy about. I wasn't exactly too sure what happened to Job there. I think everything was alright, but you know, going through there side by side is quite a risky one. Now trying to get into slipstream of Ben, I was pretty sure here that I could get the overtake on Ben Dunn, but last time that we got stuck behind Harry, he was very, very angry, and so I decided in my head I'm not going to overtake Ben whilst we're stuck up behind Harry, because he's just going to be angry and think it's a stupid thing. Like there, I could have easily gone for the overtake, but I decided to back out as I knew that Ben was going to be pretty angry if I had got past him there, because he would have blamed it on Harry. But I think Job actually has gone down the inside of us here once again. I think he might be down the inside, I'm not entirely sure here, but missing up that a little bit. And no, Job isn't there, but I think he's still right behind me here, because he hasn't had a quick look behind. Now trying to gain even more time here on Ben, as we made that couple of mistakes there, and he's having to swerve around all over the place to try and find a way past Harry. Harry, all credit to him, is a little bit slower than me and Ben at the moment. You can see I make a huge mistake, which allows Joe down the inside and lets him up a position into P1. Oh no, sorry, P2. I thought we went around the outside of Ben there, but we all go around Harry in one corner there. Really lucky to get around Harry there as well, because I lost obviously so much time from making a big mistake there. And get the move down the inside of Job down, and then going side by side through this corner, which is really risky. And Job actually hits the tyre wall there, which is kind of scary, because he did exactly the same thing to my dad in the last race, go side by side through there. And thankfully for Job that he was alright there, because it was only, you know, it looks a lot bigger than it actually was, that crash from the outside. But you know, I think everything was alright afterwards, which was okay. But you know, I'm sorry to Joe if that was my fault. I don't really think it was my fault. I think I was already alongside, so you know, I think he said after the race it was just his fault, sort of a bit of a brain fade. So here we are, I'm right behind Ben. We only have about 2 minutes of this race to go, so this is it for the win actually, between me and Ben. And then on the left hand side of your screen, that's the battle for 4th position, Tom versus my dad. They both had a couple of spins in this race, so this is it. My dad goes down the inside to grab 4th position there, and that would be I think it is 6 points, so that's a couple of extra points for him after starting on pole. The race hasn't exactly gone to his plan, and that means unfortunately for him he's lost a little bit of points, when he probably actually, in honest opinion, he probably actually could have gone for the win here. He was very fast through this race. Now trying to find any way I can get past Ben, as I know this is probably my last opportunity to get around the outside of him or anywhere. You know, I probably could have been a bit more forceful with these overtakes, but you know, I knew Ben was really wanting a win here. You know, he drove a pretty solid race. He wasn't exactly the fastest here, but he definitely just kept it on the track, didn't get involved in accidents. He didn't risk it when he was going alongside Harry or whatever. And you can see there's a little bit of contact on the exit of the corner as I sort of push Ben out the corner a little bit as he got a bit sideways. And this is it. This is the last lap. Can I find a way past Ben to win this race and get myself 2 extra points? Only 2 points separating first and second, so it's not, you know, huge, but obviously I'd rather have 12 points rather than 10. So this is it, the final 2 corners. Don't think I'm going to do it unless I get the gap there, which I don't, which is just unfortunate. So there we are. That's the end of the race. Ben gets the win, and a slight mistake here from myself. Ben sort of swerves into nearly into my car, which is just unfortunate. But there you are. There's the results. Ben, then myself, Job, my dad, Tom, Harry. That's your top 6, and you can see the points accordingly. I also put at the end of this video a full points table so you can see how everyone has done. But congratulations to Ben for getting his first win. I think he was pretty happy about that. Now, no reverse grids. This is the second race, and you can see starting in second place on my screen, my dad starts in 4th according to our obviously last race results, and now trying to you know, make up for my pretty bad start. I can't ever get good starts because I weigh so much more than everyone else except from Tom, my dad, in this race. But that is just one of the unfortunate things about go-karting. It really depends how much you weigh to how fast you can actually go in a straight line. You can see here, I think I drove into the back of Job just a little bit there. You know, it wasn't really like a massive smash, but it was just a little tap as I came out the corner. We can see that my dad got past Harry through there as well. And I ran quite wide here, and Tom is driving side by side nearly as we got up to the top hairpin. I was checking, is Tom going down the inside, is Tom going down the inside? And luckily he didn't do a dive bomb or anything. But you can see there, Ben is leading the race, Job there in 2nd, I'm in 3rd, my dad is just behind Tom, who's in 4th, and so my dad's in 5th. And then in 6th place at the moment it is Harry. So you can see I'm trying to find a place to overtake Job here. I really want to try and catch up to Ben because, you know, I was annoyed that he won the first. Wasn't annoyed, but you know what I mean. I was wanting more in that first race. I didn't get the win. Obviously you want to win all the races you possibly can, and I thought I had a couple of opportunities which I just messed up in that race, so that was unfortunate. So I really wanted to get past Job here to try and get past Ben as well. Hopefully if I get past Job, I thought I could easily get past Ben. And as you can see that my dad spun a little bit here, and he's still ahead of Harry, I think, but you know, I think Tom has just opened up a bit of a gap here. Now trying to just build up the speed here. Can I get round Job through here? Not the easiest corner to do anything, but I did get a much better exit to the corner. But then Job, as he's a bit lighter, just got the better straight line speed. So I'm weaving all over the place. I knew there wasn't anyone in behind, like directly behind me, so I knew I could, you know, do a bit of that weaving stuff, even though I don't really like doing it. I just wanted to try and find a gap of some sort. Job getting a little bit sideways, but I'm just about keeping it on the track. I thought, could I go for the overtake? No, I couldn't. And my dad's still there. He's catching up to Tom a bit here again, once again. So he will, I'm sure he'll get right up to the back of Tom once again, and I expect him to gain the position. So here we are. We're looking at another place to try and get past Job and Ben, but it doesn't look like that is going to be happening. Trying to get past Job there. Nope, that isn't going to be happening. Trying to get past Job here. Don't think that's going to be happening either. But here's my best opportunity to overtake, but Job cuts me off straight away, and you can see on the left hand side my dad's really catching up to the back of Tom. He's got much more speed and momentum, and it looks like that he will be getting past Tom pretty shortly here. Tom, I think overall, was just pretty slow in a straight line, and I think my dad just gets a much better line through there, and it looks like he's going to be looking for a move, but I'm trying to go running outside of Job here. Can't really get the move done, and my dad's trying to do the same thing now on Tom. So some really good battles going on at the moment, and these are some pretty decent positions, and obviously extra points in the championship. A quick update on the current standings after race 1. I'm still leading the championship with 35 points. Ben's got 30 points. Job has got 23 points. Tom has got 16 points. My dad has got 11 points, and Harry has only got 2 points. And you can see here my dad is going side by side with Tom to try and get up another position, and this will be 4th position. I think he's got the overtake done, and you can see now I'm going side by side with Job and nearly get the overtake done there. Job sort of turns into the corner one there, but my dad's moved up to the 4th position there, and I hit Job there once again. I'm sorry about that. I think that's the last time I do it in this race. So You can see now Ben's got a big advantage. I do think that Job is actually faster than Ben here, so we'll see what happens. I'm sort of thinking about this, should I go for the overtake on Job, or should I just sort of stick behind him until he catches up with Ben? It's a bit of a risky strategy. I'm obviously trying to look and overtake Job here, but I knew that he was faster than Ben at this point, so, you know, well, as soon as I say that, I managed to get the position done on Job, and that gets me up into second position in this race, pretty much right behind Ben now, and one mistake from Ben that can promote me right up into the lead. So that, you know, that's what I wanted to do, was obviously get that lead and obviously get that points. If I won this race and Ben finishes in second place in this race, sorry, as you can see, Ben sort of cuts me off a little bit there. A pretty interesting fact is that if I win this race and Ben finishes second, we actually have the same amount of points from these two races here. Obviously neither of us got pole positions and none of us get the extra points for that, so we'd end up going into the next round with the same amount of gap that there was between the first and second round, which would have been 7 points, because obviously I beat Ben in that first race in those terrible conditions. And you can see here I'm right up behind Ben here, and a bit of contact there as I try and get the move down the inside. I'm not sure, I think I lift off a tiny bit here, because I'm, you know, I sort of did hit him a little bit there, and you can see here Ben makes a bit of a mistake, and I just cut back down the inside, and I'm up into the lead. The first time I've led a race in quite a long time here, because obviously the last time I led would have been the end of the last round, round one, which, you know, I think I led that whole race pretty much from the start. So that was a pretty, you know, vital point in this race. I mean, if I didn't get that position done, I would have ended up obviously sort of been stuck behind Ben. That would have been a bit unfortunate, because I think, you know, to be realistic, you know, people might have started catching us there, so I didn't really want that to be happening. And so yeah, now we're coming up behind Harry here, who hasn't had the best of races. He's sort of kept it on the track, but I think he might have had a spin, because he seems to have lost quite a lot of ground. But, you know, overall he's not doing too badly, he is improving, but hopefully the next round, if he does decide to race, hopefully he'll be a bit faster and maybe up alongside Tom, my dad, Job. It should be interesting, but Harry squeezes me onto the grass there, but I keep my foot straight to the ground, and I managed to put it up the inside and get the position. That was a pretty sketchy moment there, because I was like, wow, that was, you know, sort of heart and mouth moment, because I was like, what do I do here? Do I just keep the foot down, try and get the position, or I just didn't know. So luckily I kept my foot down and managed to keep the position and didn't spin off or anything, because that would have been really furious actually if I had lost the position there because of the accident. But overall it was a pretty decent race from me so far. I think this probably might have been the best I'd driven in quite a bit of time here. I'd really just learnt this track. I learnt where to properly accelerate and all that sort of stuff, because on qualifying, honestly, I just didn't get the perfect run or anything. I don't know why, but I just didn't get the perfect lap in. And if you wonder now why the audio seems to have picked up in the background, it's because now it's actually started raining and you can hear the rain pelting down on the GoPros. So that's why you can hear sort of all that sort of clicking noises, because lots of rain coming down, and you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this race goes now, isn't it? The rain coming down on us, and everyone just wanting to get some last points. And you can see I'm looking behind me there, trying to work out where everyone is. And if you look on the left hand side, you can see my dad is coming up behind Harry, who is in front of Job here. So there could be some chaos coming up here. And if you don't know, Harry and Job are brothers, so a bit of sibling rivalry there as Harry and Job go at it, and Harry goes for a spin, and I think gets a bit annoyed at Job there after Job sort of squeezes him out a little bit. And you can definitely hear that rain coming down quite a bit harder now, as you know, to be perfectly honest, this is when the race was most difficult, because the rain just suddenly came down, and I don't think any of us were really expecting it. And you know, overall it was nice to sort of spice up the race a little bit with the rain, but I don't think any of us would have liked to have it, because it sort of made the conditions a little bit more tricky. But you can see Job really wide through there, hitting the tyre barriers actually, and actually kicking out the tyres a little bit. My dad's going a little bit slow through there, not too sure why, but looks like he's given up quite a bit of time to Job. And I'm not sure really what happens here, but it looks like Job has got quite a big gap on my dad here, and I'm sort of looking around on my screen like what's happening, where is everybody at, and but overall I think this race sort of went my way. You know, Ben sort of didn't have the best of races. He said to me after the race that he was sort of expecting not to do as well in the second race, and I suppose that sort of ended up happening. That's what happened, to be perfectly honest. Was that he didn't have as good a second race, but it looks like Job has got quite a lot of ground on my dad here, who seems to be dropping back a little bit. And this is the corner in the rain. It's just a bit tricky. And who's that in the tyre wall? I think it's Harry there, who's stuck in the tyre wall, and you can see yellow flags on my screen, and I'm wondering what's happening. I think it's Harry, at least. I can't exactly remember. Actually, no, I think it's actually Tom that's ended up in the tyre wall there, which isn't good whatsoever for him. And you can see we're going very slowly through here, and I don't know whether I'm just being stupid, or I swear it's Harry or Tom, or maybe it's not. I just don't know. I'm just being a bit stupid here. But it looks like actually it was Harry. Yeah, I think it was Harry, and now we are back underway. I've got down the inside of Tom, and that has promoted me up another place. Well, actually not another place, but it's yellow flag conditions. Harry's sort of squeezing me out into the barriers. I'm a little bit frustrated that Harry's driving so slowly here, as we are wondering when we're going to get this stuff started again. For me, it was about when do I get past Harry, because the guys off the track side decided to floor it round the outside and just up to the line, and looks like I got the win, which I was pretty happy about. As you can see, I was sliding about all over the place, and yeah, I was pretty happy with that. And actually, Joe ended up doing another lap, so you'll see him flying past at the end of this. So that's why I'm sort of like, what? I'm like waving my hands about when he sort of flies past me here. But so a pretty interesting race. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. It's been a pretty long video, over the 32-minute mark. So yeah, there's Job going past me there. And yeah, let's skip ahead to the results. So here are the results from that race. You can see there I managed to win that race from Ben in second. Job ended up in third place, even though he technically could have been disqualified for going on and doing another lap, but we gave him third. My dad ended up in fourth place there, with Tom in fifth, who had a couple of accidents throughout the race, I think, which meant he was down the order a bit then. Harry ended up there in sixth, and here is the championship order. I've got 47 points, Ben's got 40, Job's got 31, Tom's got 20, my dad's got 17, and Harry is down the bottom with 4 points. That is it for this video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in about a month's time for the next episode, but thanks for watching. It's Alex, and I'm out here. Goodbye. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. It's really appreciated. And if you have any comments, leave them down in the comment section. I'll try and reply to as many as possible. You've got two videos on your screen. To the left, the latest F1 career mode. On to the right, you've got a random video. You can click on which one you want to. And also, if you haven't checked out GT Omega, go and check them out. There's a link down in the description. And they've got really good racing cockpits. That's a really good prices. So go and check them out. Check out the videos on the screen. Check out my links, Facebook and Twitter, in the description. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's been Alex, and I'm out of here. Goodbye.